Someone stopped by earlier, heard me singing. We talked a bit, heard about something that sounded perfect for you.
I suppose, if you got a quest for me, yeah. Marvelous. Did that drop near me?
You hear that? It was the world saying hello.
It was a nuke. It was a nuclear device being detonated. What do I think of the latest season and its weapon, the Headhunter Scythe? Personally, I've never bought season passes for this game, or Fallout First, or spent any money on it whatsoever, and I really... Of all the things in this game that are able to be enjoyed by me, the battle passes and the seasonal rewards are not among them. I'm really not a fan of the FOMO nonsense and all the different microcurrencies and really all the bullshit that is accompanying online service games in general. I'm just here to have a good time and explore a new region, maybe do some fun quests if they've got any. Have I visited the Pit or Atlantic City in Fallout 76 yet? No, I have not. I've not done any expeditions. What I've done in this game so far is as much of the vanilla main quest as I could, which was pretty bad. I mean, the original main quest in this game was really not good. It's a lot of listening to audio logs and people. It's one of the things that I don't like the most about Fallout 76's main quest, the original main quest, is you pick up an audio log and it's somebody breathing and gasping for air, and you're like, okay, tell me where I gotta go next. And they're like, I left the money, cough, cough, sputter, sputter, in the room near the upstairs. 5-second pause. If you see Helena, tell her that the key is under, and it's like, just stop talking, just stop. It goes on forever, and I'm just sitting there staring at my screen, wondering what I'm doing with my life while they're droning on and on. The original main quest for this game is awful. And a lot of the content that was released with this game is still awful all these years later. It's bad. It's very bad. Luckily, some of the stuff that has been added is not as bad. It's less insufferable. So yeah, I've done the main quest, which was not great. I did a lot of the Wastelanders content. I did the 2 in-depth allies. You know, those are pretty fun. You know, also a bit tedious, but also kind of fun. I did the Wayward quest line. It's good. It was good. It was solid. I did the Enclave, the Broken Steel, and the Broken Steel Part 2. That was decent. That was pretty well done. And now I've tried this, the Skyline Valley add-on content, and it's been really good. This is probably the best content in the game at this point, is the Skyline Valley stuff. How is Fallout 76? You heard it's really good now. You haven't gotten into it. I wouldn't say it's really good now. It's better. And it's really one of those things that it depends on the person. It depends on what you want out of the Fallout series, how much you're going to be able to enjoy it. Starfield. I played a bit of Starfield, but I don't have any intention of going back to it. I'm not having a fun time with it. I didn't like my opinion really hasn't changed from when Zach and I did that discussion video about it. I have not felt the inclination to go back and play more of it. I don't think there's a whole lot of interest from the community to see like an entire series on that. Some people might say they'd watch it, but I don't think they would, because honestly, it's not a very interesting world. Oh, this guy is can I spare a square? Grab the toilet paper through that little crack, eh? All right. Yeah. Starfield is going to be a niche game where there's going to be some people that enjoy it. For some small minority of people, it'll be their favorite game and they'll just love it to bits, but that's not me. You despise Sarah in that game? I didn't really have a problem with her, but then again, I didn't play that game enough to really get to know her all that well. I wish Starfield were better than it is. And I feel like that's a lot of people's opinion on that game. There are so many other games out there that do space exploration better. I would rather play the Mass Effect trilogy for the 15th time than play Starfield. I've been having a lot more fun playing the Outer Wilds fan-made mods, and I'd rather play Fallout 76. Not that it's a space game. At least not yet, until we have Expedition Jupiter. Then it'll be a space game.
Here's a hot take about companions in games. I thought Panam in Cyberpunk was annoying and insufferable.
And I've not played enough of Cyberpunk, honestly. Of all the games there are a couple of games out there that I'd like to play. And I've been trying to get around to going through my backlog of great games. Did a bit of Baldur's Gate recently. And Cyberpunk is up there as a game that I want to check out. Starfield XP grind through crafting is a killer on hands to playing on console. There's so many issues with that game.
The revolution is coming.
It's one of those games that if you come back to it in 5 years, maybe it'll be decent. Yeah. I don't want to talk too much about Starfield because I don't like to be negative, and I feel like a lot of my opinions on Starfield are negative. Just like how a lot of my opinions on Fallout 76 are also negative, but I don't want to be negative. I don't want to focus too much on that because I know there's people out there that enjoy it. And it's kind of obnoxious to have someone in your ear constantly telling you stop, have fun, stop enjoying these things. Be upset, be angry. It's like, that's just not fun. I'm sure there's some good things in Starfield, but with the limited time I spent in that game, I don't know if I found it. For the longest time I heard Skyrim described as the breadth of an ocean and the depth of a puddle. And to an extent, maybe, but that's nothing compared to Starfield. How'd I convince myself to play Fallout 76 again? Honestly, when I started playing Fallout 4, I was very disappointed that it wasn't Fallout New Vegas. I was very disappointed it didn't do the Fallout New Vegas things that I wanted it to do. Nothing makes you appreciate Fallout 4 more than playing Fallout 76. It is such a downgrade. And nothing makes you appreciate Fallout 76 more than playing Starfield. The games keep getting worse, and it recontextualizes everything else previously as, oh, maybe it wasn't that bad, you know? Maybe I judged you too harshly now that I know what an actual bad game is. Something like that. But to be honest, they've also made some improvements. This isn't the same game they released back in 2020 at this point. This is a better version of that game that came out. It's still buggy, it's still got design flaws, it's still grindy, it's still crammed up the wazoo with microtransactions, but there's actual decent content. Like, it's not just listen to somebody die on a holotape for 5 minutes and then go find another holotape and listen to it all over again. There's actual quests in this game now, which should have been the bare minimum, but I guess they just had to get there. It was 2018? Was it all the way back in 2018? My goodness. It felt a little more recent. I know it's kind of getting older, but I thought it was like 2020 or so. My mistake. Thank you for correcting me.
What? You don't like listening to death throes on the audio recorder? That's like my preferred white noise when I sleep/J.
You gotta be in the right mood for it. You know how suddenly you're playing a game and it suddenly shifts genres on you, and you're like, I'm not in the mood to play this. I wanted to play my game. You gotta be in the right mood for ASMR death gurgling, and I'm not usually in that mood. You say that you feel like 76 would have been better received on launch if it had launched as what Wastelanders update was. Maybe. I still think people would have not enjoyed it. Even the Wastelanders update wasn't all that amazing, because people told us the Wastelanders update made the game better, and then Zach and I went back and played it, and we did not have a good time. Fallout 76 is a weird amalgamation of subpar first-player content, subpar single-player content, and, you know, an actual pretty cool world to explore with your friends. Again, like, my opinions on this game are kind of detailed, and it's hard for me to summarize it simply. There's just so much going on with it, so many working parts and so many gears, and is it bad? Yeah, but it's the kind of bad that people can enjoy, and also there's parts that aren't bad, so it's tough to describe in very simple terms. Come here. Yeah, sometimes I'll be walking around and I'll see somebody who's level 50. It's like, hey, someone else trying to enjoy the game like I am, and then I'll stumble upon a group of people that are level 500 to 1,000 or so. They just live here apparently. This is just their comfort game. I can definitely see this being somebody's comfort game. If they've got friends they just hang out with, I can absolutely see that. You say this was fun as heck for you with a group, but solo was a drag. Yep. See, I'm really not interested in playing this game as a group, at least not at the moment. That's not what I play Fallout games for. So, honestly, Fallout 76 isn't really a Fallout game in the traditional sense of it being a single-player game. Although there is single-player content. Again, that's what I've been focused on. That's kind of what I've been doing. It's kind of what the series that I've been making on it has been about, is the single-player content. There is stuff here, but that's really not what the game's about at its core. Yeah, Fallout 76 is an amalgamation of single-player content that's, you know, pretty good. There are some parts of it that are good, but a lot of it, and I feel like, you know, there's a niche audience for this game, and they really, really enjoy specific aspects of it. And I'm not sure the single-player content is what they want out of it, but I don't know. I haven't talked to enough people about it, I guess. It's certainly a community game. It's a game that you play and you interact with people. It's been pretty fun going to a quest area objective, and I just randomly stumble upon some guy with a goat head on wearing polka dot pajamas, firing bananas at enemies, and it's like, wow, this is a crazy, silly world we live in. I can see you spent $100 on some fun things. I'm happy not spending any money and just looking at the weird things you're doing. You hate that everything has weight in this game. Yeah, there are definitely some parts of this game that I would want to turn off. This game has some great moments, but unfortunately to get to them you have to play Fallout 76, which is a game that it's buggy, you can't really mod it, you can't turn down the difficulty if you get to a tough part. Oh, nice sledgehammer, dork. Your mama buy it for you? You know it's not realistic to have 99999 shotgun shells in this game, but why do enemies get infinite ammo and the ability to sprint? Yeah, it's just video game logic, you know? It's just video game logic. Part of the bullshit you gotta get used to. You gotta get to enjoy this game. You just gotta get used to that kind of nonsense. Hello, the mole. Fancy meeting you out here. Should have taken the Psycho before you tangled with me. That's a pretty cool helmet. Wish I could take it as a souvenir, but no. If I want that helmet, I have to buy the season pass, I'm sure. How are you finding the new area? You feel it's pretty empty, hardly any locations to explore? I'd say it's got a good... I came here for the single-player stuff. If you're coming here... Again, I feel like this game is very split. Some of the stuff wants to be single-player Fallout, and some of the stuff wants to be multiplayer Fallout, and the two types of content just don't work together or overlap all that well.
World's tough out there.
So I can definitely see if you're someone that comes here and you want to play this part with friends and you want to explore this area and check out the new area with friends, I can see it being lackluster for y'all. But if you're like me and just want some fun single-player content to sink your teeth into, I'd say, yeah, this region is probably my favorite region of the game at this point. Dekler, you say you've always played this as a single player, and the new area really lacks that in world story building through holotapes and notes and skeletons. Well, personally, I am sick to death of trying to learn about the lore through holotapes and notes on skeletons. I've just been overloaded with them. Fallout 76 is just lousy with them, and I've played other games and mods that do nothing but drop notes and holotapes, and it's boring for me. This actually had a very well done new area with a new main quest, and I was happy to play it. Again, I feel like I've spent like 5 hours here and I've exhausted what I want to do here. So I suppose in that regard it might be underwhelming. But really, it's all I really want. I don't want to play specific regions of this game for a prolonged period of time. If I could make some red vault jumpsuit. I mean, I got the pink short suit. That's a possibility, but I kind of want vault jumpsuit, but with red. If that were possible, I don't know. I don't think it is. I just want a red jumpsuit and a red beret. That's all I want. I love putting garbage on my character. I want my character to be wearing the scars on their body, so the loot that they find, the different armor pieces that they've lucked upon, I'm happy to slap them on. But I also just want a red beret like my Fallout character, and the red jumpsuit like my Fallout 4 character. I'd love to have that, but don't know if I'm going to ever be able to have that. So, yeah, I've done a lot of the main quests in this game. You see, I've gone through a long, long list. Some of it's good, some of it's okay, some of it's awful. But that's the stuff that was really worth my time. I've tried to do a bunch of side quests, but a lot of it's pretty... A lot of these side quests feel like Radiant quests and filler quests and just kind of garbage I don't care too much about. That might be the simplest answer for, is Fallout 76 any good? The best response would be, I don't know, do you like Radiant quests? Because if you like Radiant quests, then yeah, Fallout 76 will give you quests until the end of time. You'll be doing quests and getting loot and accruing experience. Zetabyte, you say, so it's Skyrim. No, I wouldn't say that. Not to the same extent. I would say that when you're playing Skyrim, and this is something I only recently learned to appreciate, because for the longest time I didn't really enjoy Skyrim, and I also thought, oh, boo, Radiant quests, lame. But the Radiant quests do take you to interesting caves, and the caves themselves do have interesting stories. So even though they are technically Radiant quests, there's more substance to them, and the Radiant quests actually serve a purpose in the sense that they're convincing you to check out these areas that might have interesting stories or fun things to do. Which I guess isn't too far of a stretch for Fallout 76 as well, but I feel like a lot of these quests are just really just generic kill quests. Go to this location and punch the enemies there. There's no deeper meaning behind it. You don't like Radiant quests, you say, Punk Raider. You basically just procedurally generated content, which sucks. I agree. Absolutely. Radiant quests should serve more of a purpose than just XP and money. I agree. Which is why I say that if you like Radiant quests, you might like Fallout 76. And personally, for me, I don't like Radiant quests. So there are many parts to this game that I do not enjoy. But there are more than Radiant quests in this game, so that's what I've been trying to do. You're trying to figure out your feelings on Radiant quests because on one hand, you really don't like doing the same thing repeating on a loop, but on the other hand, Stalker Anomaly is around 95% Radiant missions, and it kind of works with the gameplay. You don't know. Yeah, it definitely is not a simple subject, I suppose. There are some aspects where it can be good, but in Fallout and Skyrim, I don't really like it as much. I don't think it's been implemented very well in Fallout 4, for example. And I really don't like it in Starfield. There are so many good games out there and so many good quests to do, then why would I want to waste time doing a quest that has no significance? It's not going to make me feel anything. It's not going to make me... It's just a thing to do. It's just busy work at that point. Sometimes I'm in the mood for that, but most times I'm not. See, that's what I said. The community in this game is great. Some guy just ran up to me, some level 700 guy ran up to me, gave me a jetpack, and kangaroo steroids, just because he could. He's like, hey, there's a person who's not level 700 yet. Let me just drop off some things. Should I give him the usual 50 stim packs? Nah, I'll give him kangaroo serum and a jetpack.
I should prepare something nice.
Awesome. I just have a jetpack. It doesn't have limited amount of fuel. I guess it can take damage, but I just have a jetpack now, which is awesome. You say that there will be much better stuff down the line. Well, maybe if I play until I'm also level 800, I will also find that stuff, but I don't know if I will. You know, ultimately, I don't know if I'll be a lifetime player like some of these folks around here. I doubt it, but I will enjoy my time with it, and then once I decide I've had enough with Fallout 76, once I've enjoyed what I can, maybe I'll find some random person and they'll be the lucky recipient of all my gear. I leave to you my legacy. Enjoy this jetpack. Whee! Woo! And then I died from fall damage. So yeah, so I said the main quests were pretty good. You know, the vanilla main quest, the original main quest, are pretty bad. Side quests kind of feel like filler, and if the side quests feel like filler, you better believe the daily quests and the event quests are not exactly endearing to me as well. I've tried some of these, but yeah. I'm not gonna collect the cultist artifacts for a third time. I've done that before. It's kind of boring. So if you all remember my Fallout Companion tier list, I was talking about the Eyebot Eddie or Edie from Fallout New Vegas, and I said, yeah, companions are cool, but I don't like companions that don't talk. And Edie, whatever her name is, doesn't talk, and so I just don't use them. It would be pretty cool, I speculated, is if you had an iBot similar to Eddie, but they communicated with you by splicing together audio clips from different pre-war TV shows. Yeah, that's what this character is.
Do you really think you could do it? Could you?
Put aside all you think you know, all you believe to be true.
So, yeah, apparently somebody else had the same idea I had, I'm guessing, because it exists. Not as a companion, sadly. I can't bring it with me, and I feel like it's quite limited, but it exists.
Gee, hello there. Are you?
An instrument of justice or a foul inventor of evil?
I wish I could have a conversation with you, because, again, I wanted a companion like this. I thought it would be a very interesting character, and it's just kind of an interaction you can find, and yeah, that's kind of it. I also feel like the clips being spliced together aren't actually making for a conversation. It's just saying random things and not actually telling me anything. So not quite what I had envisioned. You say somebody at Bethesda watches me. I don't know. That character was probably in the making, was probably being worked on long before I even speculated on that kind of thing. But yeah, I think it's a great concept for a character, and who knows? Maybe we'll see something like that. Oh boy. Yeah, this game is buggy, all right. This game is buggy. Maybe we'll see something like that more fleshed out in the future. It's just a shame this game doesn't have any companions whatsoever. You got allies that hang out at your base, which is cool. You know, I wanted some of that for Starfield as well. For companions and allies to hang out at your base. Yeah. And that's what I mean by this game being difficult to quantify it in some regards, because obviously it's not great, but some people love it, and I'm starting to understand why the more I play it. I still think it's my kind of game, and I certainly prefer other Fallout games, but I'm better understanding why people enjoy this game for what it is.